In this video, I'm going to rank every single combat and tactical weapon in Fortnite history from worst to best. This was a video idea that was left in the comment section of a recent video or community post of mine, so you know who you are if you made that comment. Thank you so much. But I noticed, we had a handful of tactical weapons, tactical pistol, tactical shotgun, that type of stuff, and a handful of combat weapons, and I couldn't make it two separate videos, so I decided to put it in one here for you guys. Quick note here at the beginning, there will be no Iron Man's combat kit on this list. Yes, it has the name combat on it, but it's not really a combat weapon like I'm describing today in this video, so it just totally doesn't fit the bill for this video, and so it will be left out. If you go on to enjoy this video, as always, please be sure to leave it a like, subscribe, as we are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop when you make your next purchase. Starting off my list at number 10, I'm gonna go with the tactical DMR. This is a weapon that was introduced in Chapter 4, and some of you guys may not even know it exists. It's a really forgotten about weapon. I feel like in general, DMRs just don't really fit the mold of Fortnite. I feel like most people would probably rather take snipers, and there's a reason why. Well, we really haven't gotten any new DMRs in a couple seasons now. I just feel like they don't play well in the game of Fortnite. Maybe in zero build, yes, but at least in builds mode, which I play a lot, the tactical DMR is one of those weapons that I just don't see any reason to take. At my number 9 spot, I think this is going to surprise some of you guys. It's actually the tactical SMG. I really hate to put this weapon at the bottom of this list because I love the tactical SMG. It's just that every time it comes back, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Like, we're not talking about the Season X legendary TAC SMG here. We are talking about the TAC SMG and its current standing. And in its current standing, you're looking at a DPS of around 160 to 180. Of course, that's damage per second, and that's a good way to really gauge how good a weapon is. Typically, the best fully auto weapons have a higher DPS, and the worst have a lower DPS. Especially if you've been playing any type of Fortnite OG recently, you'll know the tactical SMG is basically obsolete. I mean, no one's carrying it. I would actually argue the regular SMG in the game is better than it, and especially with how strong double pump is, yet no one's taking the tactical SMG. And even if double pump wasn't in the game, I don't think many people would take the tactical SMG. It's just really not that good anymore, unfortunately. They absolutely killed this thing because it used to be special. At my number 8 spot is the combat pistol. The combat pistol is actually a decent weapon, and it just for me kind of fell to the bottom, not because it's bad, but because there are just so many other really good combat and tactical weapons. In fact, I believe in every single rarity, the combat pistol has the exact same DPS as the suppressed pistol. So, in your head, you can kind of think about combat pistol, suppressed pistol, very similar damage. Combat pistol has a great fire rate, but a lot more recoil, and that's what holds it back on this list. It has a ton of recoil for a pistol, and if you're playing on controller, I mean, you're really going to have to hold down that right stick, but if you do, you're going to get some really good damage out. Notably, though, do not get this confused with the tactical pistol. That is the Chapter 4 fully automatic pistol that will be a little bit higher up on this list. Anyways, at my number 7 spot is the tactical assault rifle, but I'm splitting it into two parts. So this placement is going to be the Chapter 1 through Chapter 5 version of the tactical assault rifle. That's going to include the Chapter 4 version, which has the scope on it, Chapter 5, which is moddable, which, let me just say, the Chapter 5 tactical assault rifle may be one of the worst weapons of all time, but it kind of redeems itself because I think the Chapter 1 version was pretty good, and I'm going to split that from the Chapter 2 remix version because it just functions so much differently. It has infinitely zero bloom, and so that's going to be a separate placement on this list. The main advantage that you get from the tactical assault rifle is using light bullets instead of medium rounds, right? It basically acts as, well, as it says, a tactical assault rifle, a hybrid between a SMG and assault rifle. You can use it at close range, you can use it at mid range, and it doesn't have that much bloom. You can really use it at long range as well. The main downside is that damage fall off. If you decide to use it at those middle to long ranges, you're going to be hitting for like 18, 19 damage a bullet, which is not really that great. At number 6, I've got the tactical pistol, and this is the pistol, of course, from Chapter 4. And let me just say something. This pistol is criminally underrated. This thing absolutely shreds people. It is so good, especially, you get that mythic augment that will just drop this thing right in front of your feet. This thing is filthy. You're starting to get up there in DPSs of around 200. I mean, guys, that is like good SMG range. And we're talking about a pistol here. It is just incredibly accurate. Man, I mean, that sound is just nice and crunchy. It's just, I love the tactical pistol. It is one of my favorite pistols of all time. And yes, while there is a little bit of bias here and there is a debate what's better, the tactical pistol or combat pistol, my gut goes with the tactical pistol. All right, guys, and at my number 5 spot, I just briefly talked about it. It is the tactical assault rifle, but specifically the one from Chapter 2 remix, and it has one feature that makes it different than almost any weapon we've ever seen in Fortnite, and that is the fact that this weapon is unscoped and has zero bloom. I'm dead serious. It does not have bloom. It does not matter if they're 100 meters away, 500 meters away, or 2 meters away. The crosshairs will always stay put together. They do not separate, and that means if your crosshairs on your target at any distance away, it will always hit them. You can fully auto it, hold down that trigger for 30 bullets, and your bullets will go exactly where that crosshair is. And that is really, really good. It's basically like you're using a scoped weapon. You get the benefits of a scoped weapon without actually getting the scope. It's really weird. And in all honesty, it's actually like a really fascinating weapon. I mean, you want to talk about crunchy sounding weapons, that's exactly what you get here. I really like this weapon. I like how unique it is and how different it is than the regular version of the tactical assault rifle. And I actually think it's better than the regular version of the tactical assault rifle. Just having that infinite accuracy is so good in so many different scenarios. Anyways, at number 4, I've got the combat shotgun. This will, of course, include Megalodons, the mythic version from Chapter 5, Season 3. And, you know, like, to be honest with you guys, I've never really been a big combat shotgun fan. I know in Zero Build, especially in Chapter 5, Season 3, it was a really viable option. I don't know, to me, like, it just feels too weak. Like, I would almost always prefer a pump shotgun. But with that being said, the combat gets the job done, right? You're able to fire off, I think it's at this point, 8 shells in a row without reloading. You get a very quick reload, very tight hipfire spread. So if you hit your shots, you're always going to be doing like 70 to 80 damage. Of course, that is at shotgun ranges. Of course, this is not going to be the Chapter 1 Season 9 version of this shotgun. That thing was absolutely busted into oblivion and potentially the best shotgun of all time. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the current state of the weapon. And in its current state, it is an okay shotgun. It's not my least favorite, but it's also not my favorite. At number 3, we've got the combat SMG, and again, another fascinating weapon with a really weird backstory. There was a time when this weapon was potentially the best weapon in Fortnite history. Guys, I really mean that. In Chapter 3, Season 2, they had to reduce the damage to players and structures by 2, so it went from, you know, doing 20, 21, 22 damage to 18, 19, 20. You guys get what I'm saying? They nerfed the headshot multiplier from 2 to 1.75. They then reduced the damage again by 1 across the board, and then 3 for the mythic rarity. So the mythic rarity went from doing 25 damage to 22 damage. They also lowered the headshot multiplier of the mythic rarity to 1.75. They then increased the damage to players and structures by 1. Again, it has just been all over the place, but you can see how heavy they nerfed it over and over again. And that's because there was a time when this was just a god gun. With all those nerfs still being said, I don't think it's that bad of a weapon. I mean, yes, it does have really, really heavy recoil. You're going to have to control that, but it has a very tight spread. It's incredibly accurate. So it's literally, in my opinion, a better version of the tactical assault rifle. And if you are able to maintain that recoil and hit your shots, you are doing some incredible damage. I mean, listen to this. You're going to be astounded by this. A DPS of 264 in the legendary version and 276 in the mythic version. That is absolutely unreal. That is better than some of the best weapons in Fortnite history. It's just, you know, you got to be able to control that recoil. That's all it comes down to. Anyways, at number 2, I've got the combat assault rifle. And yes, this will also include the mythic version, the machinist combat assault rifle from Chapter 5, Season 3. Now, again, very similarly to the combat SMG, the combat AR is a really weird weapon. It's got a ton of recoil, but a very tight spread. And so you're kind of going to struggle if you want to use this thing at long range, but at any of those close and medium engagements, this thing absolutely melts, guys. This thing shreds. You know, it's weird, right? Because it's an assault rifle, and so you're kind of, you know, going to be aiming to use this thing at longer range, but you can't, right? And if you want to use a longer range assault rifle, this is not your option. It's just the recoil is out of control, going to be way too hard to maintain. But if you watch any good gameplay of players using this, they used it as close range, almost as kind of an SMG, and they use it at medium range. You're on controller, hold down that right stick, and you're going to melt. But it is not at the number 1 spot in this video. That's because that spot is taken by the tactical shotgun. And I got to be honest with you guys, this was a really easy pick for me. As soon as I made this list, I went right to the number 1 spot and I put tactical shotgun there immediately. I mean, not only is it a classic Fortnite weapon, it feels like this weapon has been in almost every season of Fortnite. I know that's not true, but it is just always in the game, and it's old reliable, right? You know, if you've been playing OG, you know, you're gonna get a couple of 20 damage shots. You know, that sucks. And I think it's better than the pump shotgun? No, I absolutely don't. But there's a reason why it stayed in the battle for years, and why there's a conversation all the time. Are you a pump shotgun guy or are you a tac shotgun guy? Because both are legitimately viable options, especially when you get into those purple and legendary tacs where it does crazy structure damage. This weapon is insane in those higher rarities, and I can see an argument why in those purple and legendary rarities you would make an argument that it's better than the pump shotgun. Overall, like, it is really just a well-balanced Fortnite weapon, and to me it is definitely the best weapon on this list, the best tactical or combat weapon in Fortnite history. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Just a quick look back at some of our combat and tactical weapons. Now, let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section below, and comment a video idea, because you never know if yours might be used for my next video. If you went on to enjoy this video, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.